Hey team, let's talk patient experience. If you've been in the team room, you have seen that our goal, patient experience, has a big red frowny face. I want to give you an update on where we are, a little bit of background, and where we're headed and what we're trying to achieve, as this is a goal that we've historically done pretty well in, and right now we need to put a lot of extra emphasis on. So for some background, we do measure the one question. Intermountain is focused on the one question in the HCAHPS survey. How likely are you to recommend the hospital? And the answers they can choose are definitely yes, probably no, definitely no. And the only positive counted answer is definitely yes. Then that score is taken of how many of our patients are saying definitely yes compared across the nation, and we're ranked. What we are seeing right now is about 72% of our patients are saying definitely yes, and that puts us in the 65th percentile for ranking. We ended last year ranked in the 83rd percentile, which is amazing, incredible work over the last couple of years. And we are now in the 65th percentile, which kind of shows we have a unique challenge to connect with our respiratory and sepsis population a little bit different. With this, our goal for the year by our system has been set for our unit as the 86th percentile rank. So we need to be ranked 86th, and we're again at 65th. Some of the terms that you are going to hear that correlate with patient experience and other things we're tracking are a few things. So one is our key drivers. We've talked about this a little bit in Huddle, but our key drivers are 3 items that our system went through unit by unit and said, based off of the population of patients you care for, these 3 things seem to make the biggest difference for your patients when they take the HCAHPS survey. Our 3 for our unit are: did the patient feel like they were always treated with courtesy and respect? Did the patient feel like we always worked as a team to care for them? And did we always address their concerns and complaints? That's why you're seeing us focus on those 3 things, specifically concerns and complaints, teamwork, and those kind of aspects that way. So our goal is we want to improve those numbers. The other term you're going to hear is the nursing bundle. This is the Intermountain standard of how we deliver care as a basis when it relates to the patient experience. They're behaviors that are measured in frequency that allows the patient to be included in their care. The nursing bundle has 4 items. It is purposeful hourly rounding, it is bedside shift report, it is using the whiteboard every shift, and it's being seen by a nurse leader. Let me break those 4 down for you so you can see where the focuses are. So patients are actually asked this question in their survey. So with purposeful hourly rounding, remember the word purposeful. This isn't just how often we're peaking on them, but really, are we meeting their needs each time we round? The patient is asked, how often did the staff check your needs? Every hour, every 2 hours, or every few hours? Our goal is we want 75% of our patients saying every hour. Now, something to keep in mind is, how does our patient know how often we checked on them, as time is really, time is not measured well by patients while they're here. So one of the best ways that they're going to know how often we check on them is us telling them that while you're on this unit, we check on you every hour. This is what it looks like. Or you're finishing your round, someone will be back within the hour because we check on you that frequently. And if you're a night shifter, we will check on you every hour. If you are sleeping, we don't need to wake you up. We'll still be checking on your needs every hour. Again, that time factor for a patient is really something they're not tracking. They're taking this HCAHPS survey weeks after they've discharged, so they're actually just trying to reflect back on, how often did they check on me? I think it was every few hours. I think it was whatever. So let's verbalize that to support what we're doing, and actually do it, and be purposeful, and tackle all those things. The second one, the whiteboard being updated. The patient is asked, how often was your whiteboard updated in your room? They can answer every few hours, every shift, every day, every few hours. And our goal is that at least 75% of our patients will say every shift. So how will they remember we use it every shift? It's letting them know we're using this, that we're going to update it. Did they see us updating it, with new names? Did we use it for other things? And so referencing that. For bedside shift report, The question that our patient is asked is, how often were you included in your shift change conversation? They can answer never, sometimes, usually, or always, and we want 75% of our patients saying always in that. What that reflects is that they get to be involved and hear handoff. How would they know how often they were included in shift change conversation? How often they perceived that this was happening for us? I know during COVID, we dropped a lot of in-room processes because of isolation, and this will be something that we will be needing to pick back up to meet the nursing bundle standard for Intermountain Healthcare. And we'll need to strategize what are those important topics to cover. One, for patient safety, how do we ensure that we are handing off the safest way possible and including their patient in report without also spending extensive time? It's going to take some strategy. But no, that's where our focus is under that. Our fourth item under the nursing bundle is nurse leader rounding. The question is, how did a nurse leader visit you during your stay? Yes, no, or I don't know. And we want 75% of our patients saying yes. And that's why you see us focus on leader rounding, helps us address concerns and complaints, open up that extra door of support. And so you will see those things. As we are very far from our likelihood to recommend target ranking, we are going to be expected to have nailed down these nursing staff behaviors of the nursing bundle to prove we're doing everything we can to meet that likelihood to recommend. So more to come. What I want you to be thinking about and why I wanted to share this with you in this format, I was going to give you a really global perspective of patient experience. I'll send you an email that has these different things in it so you can see currently how many of our patients are saying this and what does that put us in and what other questions are our patients being asked about that is really influencing their perception. Second, what behaviors do we need to do or what strategies can we implement that will help our patients remember weeks after discharge the care we provided? And different strategies of how do we actually even get our patients to take the survey. If they had a great experience, they're actually less likely to take the survey because they don't have feedback to share. People generally like to share feedback when things weren't phenomenal for them. But we actually need to bank on our patients who had an awesome experience sharing their awesome experience with us. So you'll see some strategies for that. And so asking your flexibility. Every week we are going to be kind of doing a couple changes, figuring out what works for our patients, what doesn't, what makes a difference for them. You know, I've thought about COVID over the last couple of years, something that we could even do is how do we let our patients know what to expect here? Do our respiratory and sepsis patients have an idea of how long hospitalization typically lasts or what that'll look like? And so we'll have some education type things from Abby. And then we'll have some different strategies you'll hear from myself and Lexi, our shared leader over patient experience, and Maddie Martinsik, who's our charge nurse over patient experience, as we kind of move forward with saying, how do we tackle this? We have a big challenge ahead of us. This is something that we've never had to tackle so head on. But again, I know our team gives phenomenal care, and I want to make sure that the accountability value, the measurement, reflects that as well, and that we support getting to that level of our patient experience. So hopefully that gave a little bit of background on where we are, what the expectation is, where we're headed, and then be thinking of different ideas. If there are things that ideas that you have that will make that difference, please share those with me. You can email me, you can text me. We're also going to be talking about this in each of your check-ins in May, pretty heavily patient experience based. So come prepared and let me know if I need to clarify anything.